The season began 4 months ago, just a few hundred miles north on the Atlantic coast of Florida at the Daytona International Speedway. And today, on Christmas Day 2022, we finalize the 8th season of the Turkey Hill Truck Series with a 42-lap event around the Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's a 2-horse race for the championship, 15 points separating Sebastian Cucalon and Laura Chung as they do battle here in the Wawa 250 in the Turkey Hill Truck Series Season 8 finale. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the final race of 2022 on the channel and the finale race of Season 8 of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. This is the Wawa 250, like I mentioned, 42 laps here tonight around this 1.5 mile speedway in Homestead, Florida. And we are excited to see how this all goes down. If you saw qualifying last night, you saw that Laura Chung won her first pole of the season, 15 points behind Cucalon, while Cucalon himself is going to start in the 19th position. So we will start this race off with Laura Chung officially in the points lead as they run. But as this race goes along, we'll have to see if Cucalon can move his way through the field and have a shot at retaining that points lead and that championship. I'm joined alongside Andrew Miller for the call, this final race of the season. And Andrew, it has been between Cucalon and Laura Chung nearly this entire season. All Cucalon needs to do, essentially, is finish in the top 10, and he'll get the championship. But right now, it's looking very much in favor of Laura Chung to possibly steal this one away here at Homestead. How do you think it's going to go down between those two drivers here tonight, and what do they have to do to get it done for the title here at Homestead?
Well, Homestead's definitely a more unpredictable track, not quite onto the level of a super speedway, but I feel like track position isn't going to be quite as important as, especially the last race I remember calling with you, Martinsville, where Laura Chung was up toward the front. So I would be very surprised if Cucalon does not find his way toward the front at some point. But just as easily, he could fall back. Laura Chung could fall back. And those two could find themselves in the middle of a bad spot. So I think this is going to be a very unpredictable one. Some comers and goers, I would imagine. And it's just going to be a matter of positioning yourself at the end and just try to probably survive the first half. That would be my call.
We're just going to have to see how it all goes down. We will have a cycle of pit stops in this race, and that has been the Achilles heel for Sebastian Cucalon and that 75 team this season. We'll have to see if that becomes another issue for them here tonight, because if that's the case, Laura Chung only needs to tie Cucalon to win this championship as she holds the tiebreaker on the driver of the number 75. So Laura Chung has a lot of advantages going her way, but the advantage Cucalon has is those 15 points, and we'll have to see if that comes into effect here tonight in this event. As the race goes along, you will see the points as they run in the corner of your screen, so you guys will know how the championship is going to an exact point. We'll do our best in the booth here to figure it out, but it should be pretty straightforward with only 2 drivers in the title hunt. So excited to see how it all goes down here in the finale race of the season. Other drivers in the point standings include Brad Stover, who's 41 points behind, almost had an opportunity at being in championship contention here tonight, but unfortunately fell back in that race at Talladega just enough to the point where he did not have enough points to surpass Cucalon in the championship. More or less, Cucalon was able to surpass all the drivers who were involved in the wreck, and because of that, Cucalon pushed him out of championship contention. Ryan Carrot was another driver who was very much en route to being in championship contention here tonight. And he got caught up in the accident with Laura Chung, and that sent him out of championship contention. He is 42 points behind coming in. And Ethan Lewis has had a very great season, very quiet season. We haven't really talked too much about it, but he's there only 50 points behind. Although he is out of championship contention, he still has an opportunity at a podium points finish on the season here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. This is the last race of 2022 here on Christmas Day. Very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all you guys watching out there. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and excited to close the year out on this wonderful race that we are about to have here in the Wawa 250 here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We will have these drivers roll off as Laura Chung will lead us to the green flag here in just about a minute. Fastest driver in qualifying yesterday, her first pole of the season, and it could not come at a better time for the driver of the number 61. She will start to the inside of the number 22, the Martinsville winner, Eric Drew, there looking for his second win of the season. Nathan Ormond and Chris Tejada make up row number 2. Both of those drivers looking for their first win of the season. Same with Josh Williamson in the 56, as he starts to the inside of the Las Vegas winner, Brad Stover. Noah Clifton starts to the inside of Memphis Fisher in row number 4, and then Thomas Troxel starts to the inside, the driver number 1, Brian Webb. So they make up the top 10 starting positions here for the Wawa 250. There's the number 75 of Sebastian Cucalon starting in the 19th position. All he needs to do is be within 1 point, or should I say within 14 positions of Laura Chung in this race, and have a 1-point lead at the end of the race to win the championship. Because if he does tie with Laura Chung, I should say, Laura Chung will win the title. Quickly, Andrew, who do you think is going to go to victory lane here tonight, the final race of 2022?
That is a good question. Honestly, I'm gonna say 61. Probably gonna break that tiebreaker on who has the most wins.
We'll have to see if Laura Chung gets her 5th win of the season, or will it be somebody else? Who knows? But it's been a great year. We're gonna cap it off with another great one. We're Green Flag Racing in the last race of the year, the finale of the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Lap 1, led by the driver of the number 61, Laura Chung. That is a bonus point towards the championship right there for her. But Nathan Ormond, we've not talked about Ormond all season long. Here he is, going for the race lead on the second lap of the race, trying to take a position away from Laura Chung. That's not good for Chung. She has all those points for leading the race. You get all the bonus points for winning the event. But if she loses this position right here, she's going to fall back a little bit in the title race, as you see Cucalon there on the inside lane. Cucalon, that time around, 12th on the racetrack. So Cucalon, or should I say 15th, excuse me, 25 of Caleb Rose is 12th. Cucalon is 15th, so he's moved up 4 positions in 2 laps already. We'll have to see what he can do. As back to the race lead, we're going to want to focus on this. Eric Drew to the inside of Laura Chung. They had a battle at Martinsville earlier in the season, and they're battling again as Eric Drew looks to take the race lead away from the 61.
I was thinking to myself that Cucalon definitely had the advantage with starting at least on the inside lane. Even if he didn't have the best track position to begin with, I knew that starting on the inside was going to help him out. So he's already in a great spot here. Chung in second now. This is crazy already. They're getting so close together, almost beating and banging 4 wide just about at certain points. This is already looking pretty crazy. Hopefully they'll start to settle it down.
We will have a cycle of pit stops, about a 30 to 33 lap fuel run, so keep that one in mind. But outside of that, these guys are going to be battling as hard as they can. They know this is the last race of the year, and they want to get one more win before the year closes out. Chris Tejada had a shot to the inside of Laura Chung, but could not hold the inside lane, and he's going to fall back there to the 61 machine. So Chung kind of solidly in the second position there, but Cucalon, something that she cannot control is how well this 75 runs in this race, and theorized that the 75 of Cucalon was going to move up to the field fairly well. Well, he is doing just that, as he is up now to the 10th position, and with that, he has the points lead and the championship right now. But keep in mind, all the issues this team has had all season long. We saw it last week at Talladega when a tire went down there, and they've had a lot of issues on the pit lane, so it's not over until the checkered flag flies here tonight. Watch out for Cucalon, but he's doing what he can right now to move up through the field and keep this championship in his own hands and not in the hands of the driver of the number 61. But Laura Chung, all she can do is win this race. That's all she can do at this point. And she's going to go for the race lead to the inside of Eric Drew for the top position, but not enough of an advantage right now, as the 22 will get that outside lane to work and hold on to the race lead.
I'm sure that Laura Chung's crew right now is on the radio saying, listen, that 75 is moving up here. Just go for what you can. Try to get the most laps led. Try to get every point that you can. And then just hope for the best. Cucalon in a great position right now, keeping it to the inside lane. As long as he can keep that there, I think that's going to be hard for him to lose out. Already up to 9th, possibly 8th if he's able to get by the 17 here. He's got it well in his hands at the moment. But as you said, good ways to go here. And announcer's jinx ain't gonna fall on me, I promise.
We'll have to see what Cucalon's going to end up falling to in position, at least falling up through the field. I don't know what I'm talking about right there, but he keeps on moving up through the field, and at some point he will kind of solidify into a position in maybe the race lead for all we know, but he continues to move up 10 positions in 9 laps so far for the 75, so qualifying may have been a little bit dismal for this team, but they have made it up fairly well in the race so far, and as you see in the corner of your screen, they currently have the points lead. And it looks like another position may be lost here by Laura Chung. Chris Tejada back to the inside of the 61 for second as Eric Drew continues to lead. Now the thing with Eric Drew leading this race, he's led a lot of laps. He's led the most laps so far. He may end up with that bonus point for the most laps led. If Laura Chung doesn't get to the lead soon, I don't think either the 61 or the 75 will have that. But Laura Chung does have that 1 point for leading a lap at the moment, and Cucalon has not led a lap yet in this race, but he may lead a lap here soon. The way things are going, he's up to 7th now as he moves to the inside of Orman for that position. Now has Brad Stover right ahead of him, but remember, Stover beat him at Las Vegas, so these positions are going to get harder for Cucalon as he moves up through the field.
Something else I'm going to mention about Chung here, she's actually been doing a great job of making the outside line work, especially turn 1 and 2, whenever she's to the outside of somebody. So if that does become a factor later, definitely keep that in mind. She's been making it work probably the best out of everyone that I'm seeing. Finally starting to settle it down here up front, a little side-by-side further back, but she's just doing what she has to do at the moment without going stupid and annihilating her chances of anything. So I think that it's just all within Cucalon's hands at this point, and Chung just has to hope for the best.
And here is Cucalon to the inside of Brad Stover. Yet another position for the driver, the number 75. That's going to be 6th place for Cucalon. But back up front, Laura Chung might have a shot on Eric Drew to take the race lead back away. Trying to work that middle lane here. As these tires wear out, that outside lane is going to get a little stronger, and Eric Drew is utilizing that to his advantage. We'll have to see if Cucalon comes anywhere near this race lead, but the way things are looking right now, it's looking fairly well for the driver, the number 75. He won the Turkey Hill Series Championship way back in the day. I think it would have been 2018, I do believe, in Season 4. And he came close to winning the championship in this series 2 years ago, I do believe, but lost the title in that thrilling title finish in early 2021 when we had the finale here for Season 7. Laura Chung could not hold that inside, and she lost a lot of ground there, and now Chris Tejada's going for the race lead, and look at this. Sebastian Cucalon would love to keep that 61 behind him. That way he does not have to worry at all about the 61 surpassing him on the racetrack.
Yeah, and look at just how much they're bunching up. Oh, geez, with them going side by side like that. But I think that Cucalon, as long as he's just able to have that yellow truck in his sight, then he's in good shape. But that 22, looking really, really good. Eric Drew right now, absolutely flying. 15 right there. Shout out to Clifton there, who's running really well in the 24. Great battle up here as we're just about halfway through the fuel run.
We were on our last mile-and-a-half racetrack at Las Vegas. We had a 3-truck breakaway. That is not the case here tonight. All these guys kind of still right within each other's range right here. And Cucalon actually under fire here from Thomas Troxel. He passed Troxel earlier on, then Troxel came back through, passed all the trucks Cucalon passed, and then got to Cucalon himself. And now he's going for the 6th position right there, but Cucalon is still well within the range of Laura Chung to hold on to the points lead. It's single-digit point lead, mind to tell you, but he still holds on to the championship as of right now, and I think this race is going to come down to the cycle of pit stops and how well these guys can execute on the pit lane. And like I've said, Cucalon has had a lot of issues on the pit lane this season. He's been able to regain a lot of that on the track in certain instances, but in some cases, it's completely ruined his race. Obviously, he had the issue at Iowa with Ryan Kinghart, ran into him on the racetrack there, and had pit road issues at Chicagoland and gave the win to Ryan Kinghart there. And all these little things have put him in this position where if he falls back enough in this race and has one more issue, he could lose the championship. There's been a lot of issues on this 75 team all season, but they have found themselves 15 points ahead with one race left to go. That's just a testament to how well Cucalon has been running in that truck. There's so many other factors that have taken him out of contention. He could easily have 8 wins on the season and could have clinched the championship at Las Vegas if none of those issues happened, but here we are tonight with Laura Chung having an opportunity, but she's only 2 positions ahead of that 75 right now. And only unless something happens to Cucalon, it's not looking too good for Laura Chung and possibly stealing this championship away here tonight.
Honestly, I think that 75 has race win speed right now. Watching that move that he pulled 3 wide outside and got the pass done, and now looking for 4th place here. Honestly, if that 75 gets up front, championship be darned, he's going to have a race winning truck here, should he get into that position.
And he's looking for his 5th win on the year if he can pull it off as well. But Laura Chung's trying to get her 5th win of the year as well. Like I mentioned, Laura Chung does hold the tiebreaker. She has 4 second-place finishes, and Cucalon only has 2. That was the next tiebreaker in line for these guys, and Laura Chung, she's been up front in a lot of these races, but she herself has had a few issues. Remember Gateway when she had the pit road issue there? That actually sent the championship in the other direction, and with that, be looking at a totally different championship fight if she did not have the issues on the pit lane at Gateway. But we're halfway through the race, and it's looking like Eric True might get the most laps led here. He has been up front since about lap 4 of this event, but he's not been up front by a lot. Chris Tejada has been right on his back bumper, same with Laura Chung, and you might have Cucalon in the mix for this race lead here as well. Started in the 19th position. Here he is up to 4th now as he gets around Noah Clifton in the 24.
Possible battle for the lead, maybe 15. Thinking about it. This race is breezing on by. We already only have 20 laps to go. This is going to be one heck of a short season finale here. As here he comes, looking for the lead.
A nice clean race. A lot of races this season have been fairly clean, which is nice to see. These guys have battled it out. The ratings have definitely come into effect for these guys this season, and we're seeing that right now, especially with Cucalon in the 75. But it's not done yet. We'll still have a cycle of pit stops here in about 7 or 8 laps. Cucalon, though, wants to get as many positions as he can before that cycle begins, and he's to the inside of his championship rival. But can't hold it to the inside of the 61 right there. He might lose a position here as Clifton has a run to the inside for 4th.
Great side-by-side racing here thus far. Pit stops coming up here soon. Everyone pretty strung out at the moment. Maybe just thinking, well, we're this close. We're pretty strung out at the moment. Let's just try and make it through that round of pit stops. And then we'll see if maybe that's when things might get a little spicier, especially for that 22's living a charm life out front. Could change depending on how pit stops fall.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot about the championship in this race. We haven't actually talked about the race itself that much. There is a race win at stake here, and a lot of these guys won it. Chris Tejada has not won a race all season long. He's had a pretty solid year. He's been up front in a lot of these races. He's 19th in points, however, and this win would be huge for Tejada, capping off the year. But Noah Clifton, another driver running inside this top 10 who has yet to go to victory lane. Memphis Fisher, Nathan Ormond. It's a couple of guys who have an opportunity at their first wins of the season. Laura Chung, though, keeping Cucalon behind her. She's going to try to get a run on Tejada here for the 2nd position. Cucalon going to use the bumper on the 61. And he got the 61 loose just enough to be able to make the pass into the corner. A bump and run at Homestead. How about that? Not the old Homestead where it used to be flat. And that's going to put Chung on the outside lane. Clifton and Troxel there on the inside now. And Sebastian Cucalon back to that 15-point lead. As you see on the corner of your screen, Laura Chung has that bonus point. At the 75 of Cucalon there in a great position as he continues to move his way through the field. He's going to go for the win. He's to the inside of Tejada now for 2nd.
I don't think Chung's going to be very happy about that. It's like, dude, you already had the points lead on me. This isn't like we're tied going into this race. Why'd you have to door me like that, pretty much? I don't think she's going to be too thrilled about that, but it's looking good for this 75. But, as you said, those pit stops can definitely spice things up quite a bit.
And they're going to be here in just a couple of laps. These guys coming down the pit lane, they cannot make it to the end of the race on the tank of fuel they started the race with. So, fuel and more than likely tires will be given out to all these teams on the pit lane. Juan Rodriguez is on the pit lane currently, and another issue for the 44 machine. It's been a dismal season for Rodriguez. Still 35 drivers on the racetrack. As a matter of fact, Rodriguez just came down the pit lane. Must have had another issue, and here we go. Already, Eric Drew playing a little strategy right here. He's coming down before everybody else. Now, the one thing he's got to be careful with, if a caution comes out, that does it, and you're going to be sent to the back of the field, essentially, and your opportunity at winning is going to be rather slim. But Eric Drew here trying to gain an advantage and pull out ahead by coming down before everybody else. That's going to be a very interesting thing to see. Tejada is the race leader, and it's a bit interesting back in here. We'll have to see if any of these guys come down the pit lane. Looks like Orman's coming down. Troxel as well in the 17 machine. You also have Josh Williamson, Aliera, and the 1 machine of Brian Webb, and a lot of guys in the back of the field also coming down. And most of our race leaders still remain out front here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We have ourselves 13 laps to go in the season. A race win at stake and still a championship at stake. We're going to follow with Cucalon here as they come down the pit lane. He's got to be careful on entry here. Laura Chung's got to be careful on entry there with Memphis Fisher. And she had to let the 32 by. Also got to watch out. Make sure you do not speed on the pit lane. That was the issue at Gateway for many drivers. And hopefully we do not see that out of any of these drivers here. Sebastian Cucalon, though, we're going to focus on our championship leader and see how well his pit stop goes. Laura Chung there will have the first pit stall, so she will have a slight advantage because of that. But Cucalon did come down the pit lane ahead of the 61. It looks like it's going to be a 2-tire stop for Sebastian Cucalon. He's already out there on the racetrack. What will Laura Chung do? She's taking right sides. Will she go 2 tires only? They are still on the right sides on that truck. And it looks like they're going to basically come out in the same positions they came in on. Laura Chung side by side here with Ryan Kinger off the pit lane, but she will get out ahead. And everyone generally remains in their respective positions. Eric Drew in the 22 is coming off, but it looks like Chris Tejada is going to gain the advantage off the pit lane. And the 15 machine up front here, coming to 10 laps to go in the Wawa 250. But Cucalon had a clean pit stop, and that might win him the championship here tonight.
Yeah, Chung is way back there at this point, but I was also thinking about that for Drew. I think that he came in too early. He had no draft, and I know that sounds silly, but there is definitely draft with these trucks at this track. And the fact that he had none, despite the fresh tires, I think that actually put him on the back foot. And that is why he went from leading back to fourth, but he's definitely fast. We'll see if he's able to do anything about the 15 and 75.
So it's going to be a race for the win at this point. Laura Chung a little too far behind for anything to happen. It's going to take Cucalon blowing an engine or blowing a tire or something, which has happened this season. So, like I said, it's not over until the checkered flag flies. But Cucalon's going to be going for the race win. And look at these 5 guys all bunched up. Clifton going to try on Cucalon for a position. Not going to be able to do it, and Cucalon's going to get an advantage here on Tejada. Tejada wants to get this win. He doesn't want the guy who's already won 4 times to get it. Tejada's kind of blocking there just a little bit there down the front stretch. Might open the door for Clifton to maybe take a position. Cucalon back to the inside, trying to get some clean air to the inside of the 15 of Tejada. Tejada holds on to that race lead for now, but I don't know if he's going to hold it on to the end of this race. It's going to be a hard battle between these 2 guys for the top position.
It's like I said, that 75 had race winning speed ever since the green flag fell. And from 19th, looking to go for the win here. 22, though we know how fast he is, definitely not over. But, oh man, it's been really tricky to take away this race lead. So honestly, I would not be surprised if Tejada is able to hold on to it pretty handily, especially considering the fact that when you get to the outside lane, it seems like you're able to get a pretty good run. So we'll see what happens.
Eric Drew's now battling for second. That's exactly what Tejada wants to see if he wants to get this race victory. Noah Clifton here, running 4th, and Thomas Troxel is 5th. They're all on each other. Laura Chung down in 8th. And Clifton may try to make a 3 wide for second. That's just music to Tejada's ears right there, trying to get this race victory. 19th in points coming into this race. The lowest driver in points with the race victory is Thomas Troxel in 15th. And then you got Shane Lake 12th in points with the 2 wins he has had on the super speedways this season. Cucalon falling back there. Remember, he only took 2 tires. I would imagine most of these drivers only took 2 tires, but Cucalon may be struggling just a little bit with the 2-tire strategy. The thing is, though, it's going to take him blowing an engine or wrecking out of this race for him to lose the championship at this point. We're at the point of no return. If a caution comes out now, that would end the race. So we got 4 laps to go here for Chris Tejada. Noah Clifton coming up here. These are 2 drivers who have not gone the victory lane yet this season, and they're 1-2 in the finale of the season. Tejada and Clifton both going for the first win of the year. We'll have to see if either of these drivers can get it done. Eric Drew came in a lap before these guys, actually 2 laps before these guys, and he's right in the mix, but he's still in that 3rd position. And like you said, Andrew, it is difficult to make a pass out here, but they're getting passes made on Sebastian Cucalon. Here comes Troxel for the 4th position. And Cucalon may just be playing it safe as well. He wants this championship. He doesn't need the win to win the championship. He just needs to stay ahead of that 61, and he's got it made. He might just be playing it safe and letting these guys battle it out, and we might have a battle for this race win. 2.5 laps to go. Noah Clifton to the inside of Chris Tejada for the race lead here at Homestead.
He's got to get a great run here if he's going to try to hold on to this off of the corner exit. That inside lane has not been the place to make a pass, but if he can get clear into turn 1 here, it could be possible.
Barely led that lap. 2 laps to go for the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. And we got ourselves a 5-truck battle for the race win. Tejada's trying to hold that outside lane, but Clifton has some help there from Eric Drew on the inside lane, and Clifton will be able to dive it in deep. Eric Drew here in the 22 looking to take second as Tejada loses the race lead, and it's the white flag here in the Wawa 250 for the Turkey Hill Truck Series, season number 8. Noah Clifton leads it with 1 lap to go. Eric Drew there in second. Cucalon back on the inside. He's looking to take the 2nd position away, and all these guys now battling for 2nd. That might let the 24 pull away and get the win in the final race of the season. Cucalon trying for 2nd place, but no one will get to Noah Clifton. 2 laps led, Clifton gets the final win of 2022, and Sebastian Cucalon gets the Season 8 Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
And that is about as textbook as you can get, from 19th to 2nd for that 75. What a way to do it. And what a drive from the 24. Was quietly just sitting there 5th, 6th, pretty much the whole night, just minding his business. And just like that, that's going to be a W.
Noah Clifton wins the Wawa 250 here at Homestead from 13th in points. He started off the season very well at Daytona and Darlington. Since then, he had not really found much speed. Well, here he is, going to end the season out in victory lane. Maybe a sign of what's to come in real life with the first ever champion on this channel driving the real life truck. I had to mention it. But we also have to mention our champion. Sebastian Cucalon did exactly what he needed to do in this race. He moved up to the field, raced it clean, finishes ahead of Laura Chung, and he is going to have himself a 21-point championship win here from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And obviously the ratings came into play this season, as everyone can easily tell, but it was a very fascinating season, seeing certain drivers dominate, and it's still coming down to the finale race. But Cucalon, through and through, was the best driver all season, and a very deserving championship for the driver of the number 75. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Juan Rodriguez 5 laps down, but everybody else finished on the lead lap. A great race, a great clean race to finish out the year here on Christmas Day. And Andrew, how about that race, and how about the season? And what are you looking forward to in 2023 when we get to the Wawa Cup Series? Because the ratings won't be as diverse as they were here, but we're going to see some similar things next year with the Cup Series.
Oh boy. Well, I feel like probably a lot of these guys may have used this as a bit of a kind of an R&D type of season, maybe trying to see like, all right, well, what works, what doesn't, maybe try to take that into play for the upcoming the big one, I guess you could say. But one thing is for sure, though, Cucalon, I think, is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Cucalon made the rounds on NR offline for quite a while. Of course, my channel when I was doing it. He's been around, so that is great to see him with the championship. Great great race, great season for Laura Chung. Great win for Noah Clifton tonight. Great race. And honestly, I am really, really happy that I was able to be a part of this. Thank you for bringing me on board. And of course, I have to say a Merry Christmas to everybody out there who was checking this out.
And thank you all so much for a great year as well. I know this year has not been a traditional year for the channel, and obviously a bit of a transition year for the channel and for the whole NR thing, but I still love doing this, and that's why we're going to do the Wawa Cup Series next year. Kind of something that was very similar to the old Chick-fil-A Cup Series back in the day. And definitely looking forward to seeing how all that goes down. It's going to be a fun series, and like I said, the ratings will come into play, maybe not as much as this will, because the ratings will be adjusted week after week, and everyone's going to start out with the base ratings and equal ratings, so it's going to start out a lot like the old races, but as the season goes on, we'll see drivers dominate compared to others, and it'll be a very fascinating and fun season. And on top of that, we'll have the Wawa Sprint Series, and we'll have signups for that series every single week, so if you want to be part of the action, hey, every Wednesday night is when I plan on doing it, and more information will come out in January, but every Wednesday night I plan on having signups in the Discord, and if you want to join in, you can take a car and race in the Wawa Sprint Series for a little bit of time. And there'll be a championship in that series as well, so we'll have fun with that. More details on all that will come in January here in a couple of weeks, and once my busy season at work finally does, wind down, then our focus will definitely shift to the Wawa Cup Series in 2023. We got one more video on the year. That will come up on New Year's Eve. That's the top 10 closest finishes of the year. This one will not be part of that, but we had some great ones, and I think that Martinsville race that we did a couple weeks ago is going to be part of it. But you will see that coming up on New Year's Eve, Saturday. Yeah, so just a little less than a week from now, and then it's the new year, and we got a lot of great stuff coming up in 2023 here on the channel. And hey, I got to thank each and every one of you for sticking with me. I know the past couple of years have been a little different for me on this channel, but definitely feel like we're turning a corner with all this again, and getting back into the groove the way it should be, and I'm excited to see how next year unfolds here for the Wawa Cup Series and all the series we got going on here on AG, the channel. Huge thanks to Andrew Miller for joining me for the call of tonight's race. And another huge congratulations to Noah Clifton for winning the Wawa 250, and for Sebastian Cucalon for winning the Turkey Hill Truck Series Championship. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. And that is it for me for 2022. Y'all have a great rest of your week, great rest of the year, and we will see you guys in February, the Wawa Cup Series 2023 season. It's going to be fun. And stick around on the channel and the Discord for more updates coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, on behalf of Andrew Miller, congratulations to Noah Clifton, and congratulations to Sebastian Cucalon, your Season 8 Turkey Hill Truck Series champion. Here are the points for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after the 18 total races. And on behalf of Andrew Miller, I will see you guys later.